Hi Taurus, I'm Ronique and welcome to Scorpio Soul Time. I hope you all are doing well. Welcome to your mid-May through mid-June career tarot reading. This is where we're going to look at your finances, your job, your self-worth. Where is it that you can use the astrological energies to help you in those areas? We have a big energy moving time here, Taurus, as we have two major planets. We have Saturn moving into the sign of Aries. We also have Jupiter moving into the sign of Cancer. So those in themselves is a huge amount of energy shifts, but now we also have this big momentum, I will say, Taurus, with you all, because Uranus will be moving out of your sign in July. So you all are going to be starting to get these last few months of Uranus in your sign, so expect big shifts, big movements. We also will have Mars and Leo squaring Uranus in your sign as well. So that's going to be big movements also around shocking events, things out of the blue coming up. So take a look at the description box below for all the important dates. Also, Taurus, if you haven't subscribed to Scorpio Soul Time, I would love if you would. Absolutely free. All you have to do is hit the subscribe button and then you will know when new content comes out. So let's get into it, Taurus. Mid-May finds you with the Eight of Cups. What did I tell you about possibly moving on, moving away from a job that's no longer emotionally fulfilling? And the Hermit card, taking some time out for yourself. Virgo energy, mid-May. By the time you are rounding out May, Fool card in reverse, major arcana again, as well as the Moon card in reverse, another major arcana. So big things going on there, Taurus, with those three major arcanas in May. By the time we move into June, we do have the Nine of Wands in the reverse, as well as the Seven of Swords. So watch your back there coming up into June, Taurus. And mid-June finds you with the Page of Cups in the reverse, as well as the Ace of Swords. So some kind of clarity coming on in by the time you get to mid-June, which is always good to see. So let's go ahead and pull a card representing the energy that you bring into this reading. So this could have been energy that you had with your job, with your work back in April. Spirit, if you can send my Tauruses a card representing that energy. What are they dealing with at the beginning of this reading? And you have the Ten of Wands. So the Ten of Wands is the ending of a cycle, something that you have been worn out trying to get through. You also have the Nine of Wands here in June. So this is going to be a reoccurring theme for you, Taurus, of wrapping up areas of your life that are no longer helping you, that you've already exceeded the amount of energy you need to. And like I said, Uranus closing out its reign in your sign is coming up soon. So expect lots of closures, endings, okay? With that Ten of Wands, also with that Nine of Wands. All right, let's go ahead and pull one last card. Let's pull you cards are flying out here. Okay. Spirit, if you can send my Tauruses one last card, an oracle message, if you will, for their finances and job mid-May through June. And you have the Queen of Cups. So I was looking down at your cards. You also have the Page of Cups, Eight of Cups. Okay, so there is something emotionally more fulfilling that you are heading towards, Taurus. And with a Queen of Cups, this is like enjoying what you do, really having more of a motherly, nurturing feeling about what you do. And I do think many of you all are ready to leave possibly a very hectic life where you were not able to have much family time. Remember, Queen of Cups is more of the motherly figure. So I do think many of you all are thinking about choosing a different career or spending more time with your family in order to make your life more enriched. And I think that's going to be big for you, Taurus, as you come through April, May and June, because like I said, I do think that that Taurus energy, or I should say that Uranus energy, has been affecting you all for most of 2025. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So mid-May, the sun is conjunct Uranus in your sign on the 17th, and then Mercury in your sign on the 18th was when Mercury in Taurus squaring Mars in Leo. So you all came into this reading with a lot going on. Remember, we had that Scorpio full moon also in those first few weeks of May. And I do think many of you all had some culmination point there at that Scorpio full moon that also carried you into the 17th, the 18th, and then the 20th when the sun entered Gemini. Now, I do think that this Hermit card is asking you, what is it, Taurus, that you need for yourself? How can you take some of your time back? How can you make sure that you are living your best life? And I do feel like many of you all have been contemplating this for a while. I'm hearing like years. And I do think that some of you who have been in long-standing jobs or careers are actually shifting and considering moving away from those chosen fields or a certain company, or maybe you're deciding to go back into the 9 to 5. You're tired of having your own business. There's something here where big shifts where you have taken time for yourself to meditate and really contemplate what is next. That is for you right there at the beginning of this reading, but mid-May. Now, another thing I want you to take a look at, Taurus, is all of these major arcanas here in May. You have that Hermit, now you have the Fool and the Moon card both in reverse. Now, I'll tell you, as we come into May 24th, this is one of the big events of this time. We have Saturn finally moving into the sign of Aries. Remember, Saturn has been in Pisces for the last 2.5 years, and the Moon and the Fool card here is like you are having some kind of realization of a new start, but you don't know where to start. And that's what I'm hearing over and over with you all, Taurus. And I do think that the Gemini new moon on May 26th could help you start conversating more with people around you, maybe reaching out to people in your industry, networking. I do think by time you get to the 30th, when the sun is conjunct Mercury in Gemini, there's something here that has been hidden, maybe conversations, people you meet with let you know of some new opportunities that are coming up. There's something here that you have been waiting for, but it was like just uncovered, if you will, as you move into June. And I think a lot of that has to do with that Saturn in Aries new movement as we move into June. Now, by the time we get to June 6th, Venus does enter your sign, Taurus, and Venus is very at home in you all signs. So I will say, as you come into this time, look at this: 9 of Wands, 7 of Swords. Just watch your back during this time. I think that Venus in your sign is going to give you all a empowered feeling of knowingness. Okay, so I feel like many of you all are like, I knew that person was like stealing some of my ideas, or maybe you're just now coming into a realization of what you're no longer going to tolerate and what you're now going to move forward and not be so worried about. And I do think that by the time you get to the 8th, when Mercury enters Cancer, a few days later, Jupiter enters Cancer. So this is going to be more of a nurturing energy. And I do think that you all are tired of whatever this has been, maybe a toxic work environment, colleagues, boss. You are done with that. You are getting rid of that, Taurus. And I think that that's really important for you as you move into mid-June. Remember, you have that 10 of Wands, like you are through. Page of Cups in reverse, Ace of Swords. Clarity comes in by mid-June. There is a Sagittarius full moon on June 11th. During that time, I do think that Sagittarius full moon highlights something that you had not seen before or was really murky, maybe back here at the end of May. And by the time you move into this period, like mid-June to maybe into July, clarity starts coming in. I do think Mars in Leo squaring Uranus and Taurus on the 15th is going to impact you very much, because I do think that that is tension possibly in your family or the workplace. And I also feel like that tension is going to be Mars and Uranus clashing. And remember, Leo and Taurus, you all are fixed signs. So be prepared for people maybe not wanting to budge emotionally, but you still have this clarity, like I'm ready to move on to a much better situation. Also on June 15th, Jupiter in Cancer squares Saturn in Aries. So we have not had this energy in this place for a while. And so I do think that that Jupiter in Cancer squaring Saturn, be careful of getting into arguments or into clashes with people who everyone thinks that their opinion is more important than everyone else's. So be careful of that with the Ace of Swords. But overall, Taurus, this seems like this time when you're like really coming into your own realization of what you really want in your job, in your work. I think there's some new opportunities that come in that you don't really start getting traction possibly until you move into June and possibly past that Sagittarius full moon. But overall, Taurus, I do think that these next few months are pivotal for you as Uranus makes it to the last degrees of your sign, and then we'll move into Gemini in July. So I hope this was helpful for you. Take a look at your sun, moon, and rising signs in this video series, Taurus, and I hope you all have a great month. Talk to you later.